I love seeing people smile at their phones in public. Have they received happy news? Is it a text from a loved one perhaps? What could be instilling such a joy in that moment? Ottoman Safavid War finally ends with the Treaty of Constantinople. Great Heathen Army. Look inside. 1 to 3,000 men. The ghost of Machiavelli watching a regime be threatened by its own mercenaries. My face when I see another post claiming the Catholic Church burned women for knowing who to read or doing science on a sub called History Memes. Point of view. The girl you dumped is now Queen of England and the king is away. When I'm in a clamming to be the strongest warriors in Africa, but begging for help in almost every war competition and my opponent is king. How are the diplomats from the Mongols doing? Vassal. They had absurd demands for tribute to their so-called Khan, so we had them executed. King. You what? Hating Hoover because of the Great Depression. Hating Hoover because of what he did to the bonus army. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Hanging Gardens of Babylon. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. North Korea after banning Chinese words. Me think. Why waste time say a lot word when few word do a trick? One of the first Air Force pilots. Are ya winning son? I don't know. Do you consider jacking off in a porn theater to be winning? World War II ends. Hugo Boss. Roman sculptors carefully crafting the tiniest penis after creating an absolute unit of man. Fleeing to Argentina like the rest of the Nazis after World War II. Fleeing to Israel, pretend to be a Jew, join the IDF, get caught by admitting to your Jewish girlfriend you are a Nazi. Your war-matched soldiers conquer Paris and now you can visit the Eiffel Tower. A Baujet by cut the elevator lines and you must climb all 1,665 steps by foot. You might be weird, but you'll never be having a Shrek shill preference named after you weird. The British Empire. China. Opium. Promptly leave your pissed off rival's castle after accepting his surrender. Stay longer and risk assassination to bang said rival's super hot auntie. Your life becomes so much better when you remove all the negative people from it. Secretary General Pol Pot. Lecuster. What happened to her? Well, if you believe ancient historians, she was sexually assaulted by a specially trained giraffe before being torn to pieces by wild animals. Odysseus worrying if Penelope is still faithful to him right after having Shreks with half of the Olympus. Nazi Germany. The Jews control everything. Imperial Japan. The Jews control everything. Austria. Europe. World War I. Why would Germany do this? Name. Alexander. Occupation. Emperor and General. Titles. The Great. Conqueror of the known world. Son of Zeus. Kings of kings. Etc. Name. Li Bang. Occupation. Hydraulic engineer. Title. Vanquisher of the river god. Reject modernity. Embrace tradition. 29 years in Nepal. 5 minutes in India. Life is suffering. After the US leaves Vietnam, China launches full-scale blitz invasion on all of Vietnam's territories. I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move. I'm Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I'm Gavrilo Princip. And this is Jackass. The church, when a Christian sect holds property in common, practices pacifism, and preaches equality. So you have chosen death. Becomes president. Beats Mexico in a war, gains multiple new states, leaves office, dies. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Egg, you should deceive your enemies. Wow. Your face is when someone says, the best empire was the British Empire. The internet loves to mock Australia for losing a war against emus. Let's mock this country for losing a war against an inanimate object. There has been no rain for a week or so. Aztecs. No, you can't just start exporting crude oil to Israel. We are supposed to blockade the Zionists. Oil tanker to Elat go brrrrrrr. Hi, I study history. Wow. I'm a history buff too. The universe. How are you not dead? Adolph Sachs. I have no idea. Some Canadian guy waking up to a commotion on December 6, 1917. How do you even stop this? I mean seriously. The Macedonian phalanx, here shown in its fighting formation of 256 men, the syntagma. Sigmund Freud when a time traveler shows him how he's viewed in the 21st century. Martin Luther. Martin Luther King. Jewish mother duckers from 1941 be like, you got a star. Monarchs when they draw out a losing war until the opposing monarch dies and gets succeeded by an incompetent pacifist. So my daughter tells me you're into history? Yes. I play Hearts of Iron 4. You have exactly 10 seconds to get the duck out of my house. You wish to be in the Roman Empire. Then prove your loyalty and partake in the public bud sponge. General Kurabayashi. Don't do Banzai attacks. It's a waste of life. Japanese soldiers. No. No way Muslims will reach inside of Europe, we are strong. Suleiman at the doors of Vienna. Surrender Manila to the Filipino revolutionaries. Spain. Stage a fake battle with the Americans and then surrender to them instead. Spain. It's been more than 100 years. There is no more Poland. Stop it. Russia. Austria-Hungary. Where is the ambassador of Lehistan? Ottomans. People who believe Nazis were actual socialists because it's in the name when they find out about lying. If you feel you have lost faith in humanity, just remember how these guys celebrated Christmas in the First World War. Or, you're so sweet. Hello, human resources. Ron Goldman just trying to deliver a pair of glasses. OJ who just murdered his wife. Sparta. If. Philip II. The Macedonian army. George Washington after losing New York, Pennsylvania, and approximately 2,500 men at Valley Forge. I didn't hear no bell. Don't worry, this isn't actually a wild ocelot. It's just a house cat whose fur I painted. Doubt. Jerusalem's Christian minority. Sack of Jerusalem. Crusaders. Soldiers. Okay Moses, what does God want us to do with these hostages? Moses, now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Soldiers. A single death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. Joseph Stalin. Genghis Khan to 11% of world population. I'm gonna do what's called a 40 statistics. Richard Gatling attempting to reduce casualties in war. Minigun bitch. Wider America. Gee, I sure am glad the oil embargo is over and prices are coming back down. Now we can look forward to the coming economic recovery. Texans. We took out massive loans to buy new oil extraction equipment that is now worthless, and the price of oil won't stop falling. Please help us. How Turkey felt after declaring war Germany 3 months before they surrendered. Germans on the Western Front. Germans on the Eastern Front. When you and your wife have 15 children yet after 56 years of marriage you have only one legitimate grandchild who just died in childbirth. Wait a minute, how did this happen? We are smarter than this. If there is ever another war in Europe, it milliliters come out of some damned silly thing in the Balkans. Otto von Bismarck, 1815 to 1898. Serbs in 1914. Serbs in 1992. Why are you so serious about this? It's just a game. The game. Why would a fly ever land on this? Mice should be ashamed to get caught in that. Come on, bears. It's so obvious. Wow, the horse archers are retreating. Teenage boys picking what dead nation they will be obsessed with. Rome. The USSR. My girlfriend, isn't the Champs Elysees great? Me, great to shoot cannonballs down at protesters. My girlfriend, what? Me, what? Napoleon III, damn straight. A bud was a medieval unit of measure for wine. Technically, a budload of wine is about 475 liters or 126 gallons. Hemingway, after getting blown up, shooting himself twice, hunting U-boats, surviving 2 plane crashes, and drinking enough to have a cocktail named after him. I didn't hear no bell. Spanish colonization of America according to eyewitnesses. Spanish colonizations of America according to Spanish historians. Generals who've been fighting nomads since they were kids. They are retreating. Chase them. Alexander the Great, the first time he faced nomads. If they fake a retreat, we shall fake a pursuit. Not an actual quote. 500 Soviet soldiers. We got this guy surrounded. Simohea, his honest reaction. By the way, I got this too. Your strategy was advantageous for me. Are you not ashamed to wear this uniform? Haha, and your American uniform kinda stink, haha. Lek reaction. Adversaries will witness you dominate the oceans and object. Verily, he cannot endure living in Britain. Claim the leadership of the revolution, almost bankrupt the country, suffer a coup d'etat, come back 20 years later, and fix the country, refuses to elaborate. Shout out to historical figures who actually concealed their leprosy in a badass way. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. I'll have a meme about the Catholics and how they burned witches. How original. And we're anti-intellectual. Daring today, aren't we? US government in 1920. Alcohol is illegal now. Please stop making it. Appalachians. Man, I wish I was more like that guy. But he probably wishes he was more like somebody else too. Holy shit, I'm glad I'm me. I'm especially glad I'm not that guy. What do you think us Vikings will be most remembered for? Our personal hygiene, of course. Oh, I was hoping it would be all of the killing. You are very invested in killing, I'll give you that. We'll fire upon your ships as revenge for the women you took. Have you seen our new hull decorations, samurai? Scipio Africanus meeting Rome's greatest nightmare and the general he respected for the second and last Antiochus III's court. Hannibal, who became the Seleucid military advisor of Antiochus, meeting the same daring man who beat him and Zama for the second and last time. You, sir, are a 41,700 ton battleship that sunk. I'm an 11-pound cat that floated. We are not the same. Alabama man 1372. Racism, I sleep. Shrexism, I sleep. Anti-Semitism, I sleep. Lactose intolerance, real shit.